traveling, or you're moving from Rumokoro to Choba, or from Choba to Rumosi, it's a commercial vehicle. Commercial in itself should make you know that Omo, enter and get to your destination. That is what is supposed to be of utmost priority to you. But would it be wrong for some of us passengers to experience a little bit of comfort? Just a little bit. On Sunday, I saw something really funny play out, and I am sure we can all relate. You see that front seat in buses and taxis wahala. Who will sit down inside and who will sit down outside? So I was coming from Alakaya Junction to front of the building here, and two people were going to get into the vehicle, a taxi from what's this place called now? There's a very popular, one very popular plaza. I don't want to mention the name, but there's a church there. There are like two churches there and a gym and some other places. Man say, Madam, sit inside. Madam say, no, I want to sit outside. Man say, sit inside. I'll come down before you. She said, no, I will come down before you. Who will sit inside? Who will not sit inside? And then the man agreed to sit inside, and then she sat outside. And it was a quarrel, a serious one. All these women themselves, and I'm not going to like one sit down for inside. Bloody, bloody, bloody. I said, is it not better I sit outside since I'll come there? What if you are the one coming? You know, that entire back and forth. Let me be honest with you. At the end of the day, they both got down at the same spot. But I noticed the woman needed to prove a point. She had not gotten to her destination. She knew if she walked away, Oga will call her, say, Shebi, you say you want, you know that, I know some men really do have the time to quarrel with some women in commercial vehicles. And I was looking at her from, and then she boarded another vehicle to take her to her destination. She just did not want to sit inside. And if it meant her paying double the transport fare, then why not? And if we're going to be honest with ourselves, I'd rather not sit in front myself because I don't know where I would find myself. If I was outside eventually, then the person seated inside highlights and I'm yet to get to my destination. Truth is, I will be forced to move inside. Coming down to tell the person, you sit inside, you don't sit inside. And then sometimes some of us will say, you know what, I'll pay for the 2 seats. One begins to wonder what level of comfort is expected in a commercial vehicle. Have you ever been made to sit in front because you were in a hurry? Let me tell you what happens. Sometimes you're forced to sit inside and you're sitting on the engine. I don't know how it happens, but you're seated and that place is very hot. And the driver will now say, use this rag, put on top, sit down. Or you're sitting with one bum up and the other bum down. And if you are a lady, trust me, you understand how uncomfortable it is. If you're not sitting on a hot engine, you are sitting down on the gear where they used to change gear. So whenever the driver is trying to change gear, whether he's trying to move to neutral, to park, to gear 1 or reverse or whatever, he's always going to be hitting you. Or you are sitting down on the handbrake. All of those things can be very, very uncomfortable. So, like I said, for some of us, we will rather not sit in front. Okay, you're not sitting at the front, you're sitting at the back. How safe is the back? This morning, I had to get to Rumokoro Market. And I said it was going to be a lot easier for me to ply with a commercial vehicle because I would have a problem with parking space. When I got into the vehicle, I could see a lot of edges, a lot of things that could either tear my clothes or tear my skin. And by the way, I have this scar on my thighs. It's been there since I was in secondary school. That scar I got from a boss. I mean, the rod just stabbed me like this. And the scar is still there. It's a constant reminder that Anything could happen. So maybe, let me just say this. Sometimes the accidents that people encounter in commercial vehicles wouldn't be as bad as if only we didn't have some of these sharp edges here and there. So while I was seated, one lady was getting into the vehicle with her children, and she was like, now this your boss will be like this, make you no wound me, oh. She hadn't even finished saying, make you no wound me, piam! The thing don't tear her picking cloth. So whether you choose to sit inside, outside, front row, back row, any row, sometimes there's no leg room. Sometimes there is heat. Sometimes the windows of these commercial vehicles are not functioning. They are not functioning. You try to wind up when it is raining. You are wet. You are inside a vehicle. You're supposed to be covered, but no. Sometimes you are struggling with one waterproof. They are easy to cover the window or one trampoline or something. Passenger comfort is a complex and subjective concept. But for commercial transport like buses, taxis, trains, and planes, it is generally broken down into several key areas that operators are expected to manage. The reality of transport in many Nigerian cities is that comfort, say you want to enter public transport and you want to be comfortable, rara, it shall not happen. It is often a secondary consideration to capacity. One time I went to Uyo. This was in the year 2000 and, was it 2015? Yes, I went to Uyo. In Port Harcourt, in a taxi, we carry 3 at the back. We carry 2 in front. In Uyo, in Akwa Ibom State, they carry 2 in front, 4 at the back. I don't know if they still do it now, but you know how you want to sit down and you have to look at the sizes of the people inside these commercial vehicles to be sure that you want to be squeezed together with this category of persons. If you're not looking at size, you're looking at whether this person is looking neat. Maybe you're wearing white. Maybe you iron their cloth well. Maybe you starch their cloth well. You don't want them to squeeze you and change the fragrance that you wore from your house to that point. 4 people. And I said, okay, it cannot be this worse. And then I got to where they were loading buses. In Port Harcourt then, we had 4 people seated on the row. In Uyo, we had 5 people. So 2 in front, the bus had 3 or 4 rows, 5, 5, 5. And they say it is all to maximize profit. And guess what? On top of that 5, 5, they were back now. Yeah. But hey, this is 9 vehicles. Expected chorus. When you board a commercial vehicle, think about it. Which factor do you sacrifice first for a lower fare or a quicker trip? The one that is cheap and the one that will get you to your destination fast. Oh, I did not also tell you that in some cities in Port Harcourt, an Okada that is supposed to carry 1 passenger can carry up to 3 passengers. And they are not going to the same place. They will do carry and drop. On top of Okada too. Bike, machine, motorcycle. Okay. So the one that will take you there faster or the one that will be cheaper? Is it the cleanliness of the seats? Or is it the amount of leg room? Some of us are very tall. When we say we are very tall, our leg needs enough leg room. The height of your vehicle needs to be high enough so that we are not bending like this. We need to be sitting normally. So we don't develop one condition because we have been squeezing ourselves in vehicles. Or is it the seats? Are the seats clean? Are there any edges or dangers here and there that can injure you? Do you have rod sticking out of this vehicle? Question number 2. absolute minimum comfort standard you as a passenger refuse to compromise on? If you must, bad as si bad, you will not compromise on that standard. What is it? And the final question: if the federal or state transport regulator announced a minimum passenger comfort standard tomorrow or even today, what is the single most important change you would demand they enforce? Think deeply about it. We're talking about your safety, your comfort, and everything. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. Again, 0817-923-0002 and 017-923-0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number is 0809-030-6416. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Denise.
Good afternoon.
Talking from OEU.
You're welcome.
I think the worst journey I've gone all my life was when we went from Port to Abuja. I was rushing to attend a wedding on Saturday morning, and I was very busy with work, so I had to leave on Friday night. You cannot believe that we are 4 in Isiana. Jesus. From Port Harcourt to Abuja, spent 14 hours. When I got to Abuja,
at the back seats.
Yes.
Wonderful.
It was as though my legs were no longer mine. We dropped. I could not even stand. I sat down for more than 1 hour, trying to stretch my leg. Jesus. Those drivers, most times, they don't even consider their passengers. They also consider the money they make from the passengers. That's just it.
So now I'm giving you a blank check. Let's assume that this were possible and some policy, erupts, and it is centered around a minimum passenger comfort standard. What is the single most important change you would demand they enforce?
Sienna was built for at least 2 or 3 persons at most. Because I believe if we are 3 at the back, it won't be tight. Because you would have time to turn, readjust yourself, sleep comfortably. But if it's 3, it's okay. And secondly, that 2 in front is something else. Because it's even risky because the driver himself is never comfortable.
Okay.
Struggling to change gears most times can even cause accidents. I've been in the taxi before. The driver, we are driving. We know that the person was sitting in front has pushed the gear to neutral. So the driver was following the car. The car refused to move. What is
you are?
I understand. That's a lot.
What if it was revised that the person pushed the thing to? It would have caused an accident. So
I get you.
Behind is very, very, that 2 in front is very, very bad.
Especially, what about the ones that does not have seat belt? And you are a safety conscious person and you like to use your seat belt, but you see, you bought a commercial vehicle. It's either it does not have seat belt, or if it does have seat belt, how many people will use the seat belt when there are more passengers in the vehicle as opposed to an accurate number? We need to go on a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Station 01792300002 and 01792300003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809030646. And yes, we're live on X at Nigeria Info PH is our X handle, and our Facebook page is Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Go there, watch live, but most importantly, be a part of the conversation. So I'm asking 3 questions. Question number 1. When you bought a commercial vehicle, which factor do you sacrifice first for a lower fare or a quicker trip? Is it the cleanliness of the seats or the amount of legroom? What is the absolute minimum comfort standard compromise on? And if the federal or state transport regulator announced the minimum passenger comfort standard tomorrow, what is the single most important change you would demand they enforce? Nigeria Info, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm calling to talk about the transport issue.
All right, talk to me.
Okay, personally, my own personal opinion, I think that it is the people that are condoning those rough behaviors from these drivers. And the reason why I'm saying this is, whenever I want to enter any form of transportation, let's say keke or bus, like for example, if I want to enter keke and I see a fat person, like someone that can take one or like more than the normal space. If I see a fat person, I can choose to either sit at the front or not sit there at all. There was this I was going to the market and I was already inside the ticket. So the driver wanted to pick up one man. He was so big and there was only one person in it. So I asked the driver, is this man going to get this seat, or is it this place that you want to put this? And he was like, you should shoot the receiver. I said, no. I go down, I told him to give him 100 naira. From there, I don't think it. Even the same thing with bus. I will not allow anybody to inconvenience me. How can I pay 100 naira? And you that is big, you also pay 100 naira. Drivers should encourage people, or all those people, they should try. Like if you know that you're big and you take more than one space, don't try to take more than one space. And another thing that I do not condone is whenever I want to enter any vehicle and I see that there is smoke, too much smoke, like
smoke.
The car. I refuse to highlight that vehicle. I will not enter.
Hi.
I will tell them that I will not. I'm the one that is paying, and I will choose what I want to enter. I am not in a hurry, and I can never be in a hurry to anything. I only choose the kind of vehicle I'm going to spend my money on. If I take a vehicle and I see that the seats are bad and the foam on the seat is coming up, I'll tell the driver that no. I don't want to enter. I always give everybody respect themselves and start choosing how, like, the kind of vehicle that they want to spend their money on. All these drivers will be forced
They will sit up, they'll go and fix their vehicles. All right. All right. She just mentioned one now. Do you see that smoke? Have you been in a vehicle and you started smelling like you were from a mechanic workshop? All your body, you are inhaling the smoke, you smell of smoke, you smell of so many things. In fact, you can tell the driver just came back from the mechanic workshop because the seats are stained and they didn't bother to clean up. And you're supposed to pay money to subject yourself to an uncomfortable situation. This one says, until a person buys his or her own vehicle like Didi, they will never know the discomfort regular commuters face every day on the buses and taxis. Until a person builds his or her own house, they will never realize what tenants face in their rented apartment. There is no comfort in the regular buses and taxis in this town, except he hailing taxis. Clinton, Mr. Fresh in Port Harcourt. Good afternoon, GDW. There was a day I boarded a bus from Ikoku to my one, and I was to enter front seat. And in the front, one person was there first. And before I knew it, the person came down and for me to enter first, which I did. And as we moved, not up to 10 steps away, a madman standing by the roadside just slapped the man by the... What is all this? Now, what is wrong with you people? A madman by the roadside just slapped the man by that my side who would have been inside. You could now see I was saved from the dirty slap from the madman. That is why I sit down anywhere provided the place is conducive. That Mr. David from Navy Barracks, Borikiri. What is wrong with some of you? Like, really, what is wrong with you? Smoke. I mean, I just remember that one. I totally forgot that is a possibility. Okay, when last you service your motor? Is it the sound of the engine? You're in a taxi and the vehicle is sounding like you're inside on you're on top Okada. Oga, now Okada engine now put inside your motor. No, not my engine. Oga, why your motor the motor why your motor they smoke inside like this? No mind that. I just they come from every time. I just they come from mechanic workshop. Oga, why you never fix your door hand? Have you been in a vehicle and it is the passengers that are holding on to the door hand so that the door will not fall off? This one we put his hand in the window like this and hold it. This one you hold this part. Or you get in the vehicle that somebody has to come down to open the vehicle for you to enter. Or come down. So which one are we dealing with? There are a lot of these vehicles that, if we look at the standard, they are not roadworthy, but we have them used as commercial vehicles, buses, taxis, Siennas, you name it. And yes, because it is commercial, maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't expect that much comfort. But there is something called the barest minimum. Let's hear from Kenneth from Port Harcourt what his barest minimum is. Hi, Kenneth. Thank you for joining us.